welcome back to Class Culture and a word of worship. Yes, we are back. And I can't, it always squeaks. Okay. Welcome back to Class Culture. This is a word of worship. We took the summer off, 2021. We are back, and every Sunday, this is what I will do for us, the hearts of gold. The Bible, scripture, and verse is about antiquity for Gigi. It's not necessarily about religion, and we're not here to thump it. We are here to figure it out and to just talk about it. And then you walk away with links and ideas and discussion that you can go and have with you and yours. So welcome back. Yes, of the summer 2021. I needed just the break of the every Sunday commitment, and it mattered and it worked. And I feel ready to go for the next 11 months. So welcome back. We are going to talk about 1 Peter 2:1 slander. Just put it away already, meaning all should be ready to do that. And it's the illusory for me. Illusory. If you are new to class culture, we learn new things. Yeah. We like to improve our lexicon. We sure do. Now, I want you to hear the meaning of the word and just know it for yourself before we go forward. So I'm trying to play it. For some reason, it doesn't want to play. So let me do this. I'm going to share it, and then we're gonna go forward. But yeah, welcome back, and we have a whole playlist. So after this, we'll look at the playlist. But yeah, I want this to be at least, let's just say, 200 videos in. So I'm sorry, something's weird is happening. It doesn't want to share. I really don't hope I have to start this video over again. It's very busy. It is the weekend of the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So give me a second. For some reason, it's not sharing. I know I see my bubble. I know my internet is working. I see my audio is working. And I can always restart this. Let me see. I don't want to, but let's see. Give me a second. Real time, real world. It's just us. I'm going to leave and come right back. Hold tight. Hello, I'm back. So let me try to share this again. There it is. It's technology, right? All right, so here we go.
Illusory.
Illusory. I like to say illusory, like loser, but illusory.
Illusory.
Illusory. It means based on illusion, not real. Okay, one more time.
Illusory.
Illusory. So welcome back to Class Culture. You're going to learn something. It's going to be attached to your brain forever, and you will also associate everything you learn on YouTube with Class Culture. Okay? Illusory. It means not real. Delusional, imagined, imaginary. I want this. Yeah, let's do it together. And all we did was put in the word illusory.
Illusory.
Illusory. I mean, it's tomato. False, fake, bogus, mistaken, erroneous, misleading, misguided, untrue, and the opposite, real, genuine. And we keep it 100 and real over here. So if you look at images, you'll find all these cool things. So shout out to production and anyone who might be interested in the upcoming season of Halloween. I absolutely adore this type of art as well. But that's another subject. Art Smart is coming back. But yeah, shout out to these images. I love them. Okay. So when you look up that word and you know what it means, then we can go forward with the topic. Okay. It's the illusory for me. Okay. Now, when we look up 1 Peter 2:1, they talk about slander. Just put it away. All of us already. When you are on the path of what growth, becoming golden, keeping it 100, being real, and demonstrating. That's the only way it'll work in real life. And that's the only way you can stay in flux. So let's get started. Now, I don't have a lot of images. Give me a second. Let me get rid of that. I like to organize. It's just us chatting. I like to be on top of things in real time. So when I click off, I just make it available. Happy Sunday morning. And I bid you adieu, and I get my rest too. So again, I like being back on track. So thank you for your time and attention, and thank you for your patience. So now let's look up illusory. Illusory, or however you want to pronounce it, superiority. 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 Look, that's why I love my channel. We learn together, and I hope I'm helping someone not be afraid of speech and not be afraid of getting things wrong, because I just laugh at myself. It's not a big deal. Because this topic is important before we actually go straight to the book and the verse. And that's the scripture in the Bible. Okay. Now, the Bible is a good place for knowledge, in the sense that someone wrote this down and we are still reading it. There are lots of antiquity stories, morality stories, and things like that. But in antiquity, it meant a lot to have one book with all this in it, because you could carry it with you, right? Unfortunately, the library in Egypt was destroyed, and a lot of manuscripts were destroyed with it. However, those manuscripts came from somewhere else. That way, I remember when I first heard about the library in Egypt, I felt sad at first, because I grew up going to the library as early as 5 years old. But then I thought about it. I was like, oh, yeah, right. Those came from somewhere else. So, yeah, it was sad. But those writings and that wisdom came from somewhere else. So let's go back into what this is about. And I'm going to take that away. Illusory superiority. Okay. What causes illusory superiority? Okay. Now, it's also known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a type of cognitive bias in which people believe that they are smarter and more capable than they really are, especially low ability people, low ability people do not possess the skills needed to recognize their own incompetence. And this happens. So I'm going to keep that as well, because it might come up in a live. And someone might say, oh, well, I have a question about that. I watched the video. But before we go into that part, let's go up here. Okay. Here we go. Sorry. Give me a second. There we go. Give me a second. I'm trying to get this all in one screenshot. There we go. Okay. Has been found in individuals' comparisons of themselves with others. So they do it to themselves. Illusory illusory superiority, I like to have fun with words, has been found in individuals' comparisons of themselves with others in a variety of aspects of life. So it's not a judgment thing. It's nothing I'm saying to you about you. It's what you do to yourself, including, so, some people can't help it. That's them, including performance in academic circumstances, such as class performance, where we get graded, exams, where we are maybe held back if we don't pass them, and overall intelligence, where people sometimes measure IQ. Okay. In working environments, for instance, it's job performance when you get your monthly, evaluation. And in social settings, that can be anything from the person across the table that's eyeballing you and your man having dinner and she don't like your shoes or something like that, or another man looking in at the same couple going, he's this and that, and they don't even know you. So just know it exists. That's all I'm saying. When you know something exists, you're less pressed, as we like to say, regarding it, because these people have absolutely no idea who you are. And that's what it is. It, whether people suffer from it, you can use your own words, but it's a thing. It's happening now. It happened back then in antiquity, and it's in the Bible. Okay. It's also a condition of, here at the top, cognitive bias, wherein a person overestimates. So we're going to get that one too. Their own qualities and abilities. And that's Wiki, and you can go and grab it there. Everything that I'm showing you is down below in the description box. So yeah, I have to get all of that in before we actually hit the meat and potatoes of this subject, because to me that's fascinating, because I often look at these issues and I say, well, that's happening now. Some people look and read the Bible and think about it back then, but I'm like, that's in the now. That's why, to me, some of the verses in scripture are valuable, no matter what religion you are. No matter what. I can read the Quran. I can read, Taoist writings. I can read the Bible, scripture. I can read, Greek, Latin, philosophy. I can read books that were written in Africa that still reside there. I can read all of that and apply it to today. I think that was their purpose. That's me, Gigi, and not anybody else. But yeah, let's go to the next thing. And I don't have any like really slides or anything to say, because we're just stepping back into everything, and then we'll get boom. And I'm going to do the same thing. A shout out to the present. Thank you for the replay crew. Thank you for the new subscribers and the new members, our internationals, our incognegros, everyone, our diplomats and professors. Thank you so much for rocking and rolling with me on my uploads. Sometimes content creators need a break, and this is my break. This is a subject where I just want to spit it out and make it available to you. And we will look at the playlist, so I promise you. So we did that one. What's the next one? Misinformation. Yeah. So these are big words, because I hate just using words like, let me join in. I hate using words just like lie. That's not enough for Gigi. I'm sorry. It's like, no. It's not just that. It's the nuance. It's the purpose of it. It's the why. It's the wow. Someone's saying something right now today to knock you off your perch, or block you from something that they have in their imagination that's going to happen in the future. You're like, wow, that's a lot of energy. But it happens, and it's real, and it happened then, and it happens now, and it happened in between time. It happened in royal homes. It happened in farmhouses. It happens everywhere. So that's what makes it a living, live, breathing document, just like the Constitution. To me, that's the fascinating part of it. So that's why, we call this a word of worship, because these are the words and it's of worship. However, everyone can get something from it. So that's me, but I'm bringing my hearts of gold along. So, misinformation. People, it's funny how you could ask someone in your family, what does this word mean? And then you look together so they don't feel like you're tricking them at the definition, and have them do the same for you. You'll be surprised how many people cannot gather the actual definition or meaning of a word. Or will say, you know what? I use that word all the time. This is Gigi. I use that word all the time. I have no idea. Let's look up the definition. I pull up the dictionary each and every day. I really do. So, misinformation is false or inaccurate information, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive you. So, guess what? It's a thing. And you don't have to ask yourself, why did somebody do something? Just know they did it. I don't even care. I don't even invest the time to figure out why somebody did something. That is not, give it to karma. Like we all like to say, give it to God. Stay prayed up. It ain't my business, because I don't know ya. Because when you know me, certain things wouldn't even come to your mind. So that's a fake and a fraud and a demon energy. You already know don't even go there. You don't want to know. I had a good friend that used to tell me, we would be at work and I would say things like, I don't get it. And she would look at me and say, that's a good thing. That's why you're my friend. I was like, because sometimes humans do things, you guys. Don't worry about it. It's not about you. It's about them, and let their higher power and their energy, wherever they're roaming, in the stream of frequencies, let it handle it, because that's how nature works, doesn't it? It handles it. So yeah, a misinformation, false, inaccurate, especially which is deliberately intended to deceive. So it's there. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's a little late. That's why I'm tongue tied. Unfortunately, hearts ago, I rather expect that and never get it than not expect it and get it. Do you understand? I know it's coming. It's like, I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be nothing changed. It's safe, no harm, no foul. But it, it's gone. It's there, and it's unfortunate. But just take a deep breath, relax, exhale, and keep it pushing. Really, honestly, it's too many humans on the planet to worry about one or several, especially in real life. Family first. So we did misinformation. Now we're going to do misinformation verses in the Bible. So we're getting a little serious now. We're almost there, right? So let me pick the right one. Yeah, I'm just making sure. Now, you remember how we rock and roll. A shout out to the internationals. This is good information for you. Everything is down below. How you Google it, whether you want to hit all news, images, or whatever. Always, I drink before I get on here, a little air when I come up. But it's also good, rich information for Gigi Darling as well. It really is. So, been there, done that. It's a YouTube channel is a great place forget bookmarks. Make videos and put everything in the description box. It's that easy. So you can go back to yourself. This is on the, we have a whole, and I'm going to show it to you, playlist. But this is interesting to me, because the more and more I write and read and do research, the more it's just a part of me now. Does that make sense? So in the effort of some people to try to get to know me, it's almost like I'll show them this and they'll go, oh, now I understand you. It's like, well, that was what I was saying. But, until I demonstrate it, keep it 100, keep it real, then they feel like they understand me. They feel like, oh, okay. But I mean, at this particular golden stage in life, uh, why would you doubt that? But people do, unfortunately. Now, when you put in misinformation verses in the Bible, you get everything. Now, we're going to look up some of this, but I like this. Um, just wealth of information. I mean, I could spend like a whole year just on that subject, but you got to keep moving. But yeah, even at the top there it says, so the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who deceives the ... So we will definitely visit that again. And then they talk about, misinformation, of false prophets. What does the Bible say about lies? Now, I could only do one verse and we will get there, but there are a plethora of verses, obviously, right? And here's one. A false witness shall be punished, and a liar shall be caught. A fortune made by people who tell lies amounts to nothing and leads to death, but the conduct of those who are not guilty is honest. Catch. So again, misinformation verses in the Bible. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty. So yeah. And if this is your first time here, how is that? And I appreciate you. Please subscribe, like, and share. Hit that like button, subscribe button. If you're a content creator, please and thank you. If you would consider sharing, that's cool. I often reciprocate. Yes, I do. No matter where you are, whatever sector. If you come along this video, introduce yourself and come back, read the titles, because I do a lot of things. Check out my information page. All of my social media links are there. So yay for class culture. We are rocking and rolling over here. But yeah, what's next? So it's sort of like I'm taking you along with me, right? And we're figuring, we are going to figure it out together. I'm being distracted. Give me a second. So yeah, we looked at all the words. Let me look and see what I have down below. Illusory, illusory, superiority, misinformation verses in the Bible. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 links, and then I have the worship, a word of worship playlist listed right under there down below in the description box. So let's take a look before we get into that, into the playlist, because welcome back. Shout out to the future and beyond. Thank you so much. Here is the playlist, and I can take me away just to make it larger. This is not new. We just took a little break for the summer, which I often treat myself. And here you can see it's called A Word of Worship, the Scripture, Truth, and Ministry, Class Culture, Queen Charming, Growth, Pray, Prayer, Faith, Godly, African Verses, Bible Study, and Bible. Okay, it only lets you put 150 characters, so I squeeze it in. But as you can see, we've been busy. We've been on track. So yeah, we talked about freedom, solidarity. Moses' wife was black. False people, African heroes in the Bible, Genesis regarding Eden and kingdoms, Jeremiah, and we're going to go into more characters. So stay tuned. Slander. So that's what we're working on now, and I will definitely get. No, I like that. I don't want to put anything else in there, but and I also did a video regarding religions, Pew Research, liturgical animisms, pardon me, and Taoism. Now, I put a video that I did not make on there because it saves Gigi Darling the time and attention where you can sit back and enjoy a 20-minute video regarding um, the type of worship that I choose. Now, I was raised in the Baptist and Catholic um, tradition. You know, one side was Baptist, one side was Catholic. But as you become an adult and you are an American, you get to choose because we have freedoms here in America. So yeah, there it is. And maybe next year, 2022, I'll get a new thumbnail and that'll be a marker. But yeah, we still have a lot of work to do. So as you can see, this is maybe what, 2 months old. So yeah, yeah, forget the summer as far as doing things, 2 months old. But yeah, in 2022, I have a new thumbnail just as a marker. So this link is down below in the description box. So let's get on with it. Let's actually read the, oh, so nasty crack. Ooh, ooh, that felt good. Okay, let's get to the actual scripture that I wanted to showcase. Now, I only put this link in, and then I can take me away. Yeah, you can see me. Okay, there we go. I only put this link in. Here, let me change this. Okay. But then we're going to hit full chapter. Okay. Now, this is a Bible Gateway. I often come here for all my research. I might be researching, you guys, geography. I might research like trees. You know, you could put anything in here and find it, and it's exciting. There are different versions, as you can see. I'm not going to change it, but there is a zillion. Okay, so yeah, I hope it doesn't change. Okay, we're looking at the English Standard Version. So when I do research, I go deep, 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 and it's fascinating. Sometimes I turn around and it's like, who can I share this with? You, class culture. So yeah, hang on. So 1 Peter 2:1, a living stone and a holy people. So put away all malice and all deceit and hypocrisy and envy and all slander. One more time. Already. That's why I put, I like to play with words. So put away all malice and all deceit. You can't put one away. That's like a whole bowl of rice. Well, not rice. Let's see. What else do you eat like a handful? Let's just say blueberries. And 2 are rotten and got fuzzies because you didn't really look and clean it and you ingest it. Well, guess what? You got the bubble gut. You know what I mean? So you have to put all of it away. All deceit and hypocrisy and envy and all slander. Okay? So that's why I wanted to talk about all those new words we've added to our lexicon now. Right? So let's read the full chapter, because we want to keep it in context. I'm not here to trick you or to twist it and to make it seem what it was, meant to seem, or I don't want to apply it to what I'm trying to get you to understand. Let's just read it in its context. So here it says, put away all malice and all deceit and hypocrisy and envy and all slander, like newborn infants. Everyone talks about rebirth. Well, what you can be an atheist and we can still have this conversation. If you're 72 and you're like, you know what? Okay, I think I got a good 10 years left. Let me stop the nonsense. Do it. Good for you. And you can be brand new in your mind. You can readjust, learn yoga, meditate, stop hurting people, block everybody that is negative, and move forward. You can. You have the right to. Right? Long for the pure spiritual milk. Then by it you may grow up into salvation. Or even if you're just saving yourself, if you don't want to go to heaven or hell, you're just saving the rest of the time you have on planet Earth to have fun, to be, tranquil, right? If indeed you have tasted that the Lord is good. So, it don't hurt me to read that, even if I was an atheist. It's just some people need it. As you come to him, a living stone, rejected by man, but in the sight of God, chosen and precious. You yourselves, like living stones, meaning we are just as precious as diamonds, gold, rubies. We are of planet Earth. So we are a living stone. Living stones are being built up as a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ, for it stands in Scripture. Okay. Behold, I am laying in Zion a stone, a cornerstone chosen and precious, and whoever believes in him will not be put to shame. So the honor is for you who believe, but for those who do not believe, the stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone, and a stone of stumbling, and a stone of offense. So I you have to understand that it may sound like a parable, but just take a moment. Okay? I'm precious. Therefore, if I get back on the path of taking care of my spirituality, my body, my consciousness, then I matter. Cornerstones matter. So you can read the rest of that. The stumble because they disobey the word as they are destined to do. And then they go on and on and on and on and on. So that's for you to go further into that. Okay. So welcome to the research part of class culture, because it has to make sense to you. It might have a different meaning there, because at this moment in time, I do not worship Christianity or any form of that, but I get it. And the study of theology to me is fascinating. Just like if I was studying philosophy or studying kinesiology or whatever I'm studying, it's still fascinating whether I'm, you know, a, a scientist or not. Science is fascinating, but I'm not a scientist. So that's how I approach things. And I'm not afraid to look at anything because I'm nosy that way. Okay. So what is the next thing? What is the next thing I want to share? Okay, the psychology of misinformation. Okay. So this is down below, firstdraftsnews.org, the psychology of misinformation, why it's so hard to correct. Now, I am definitely not in the business of correcting anybody. I've been sharing this here in other lives that I do. I have lots of lives about lots of topics. That's what I do. Read about me on the information page. But I've been saying this all week, and I think it's important to bring it home. And sky blew it. Sky's the limit. And yes, because in space you can't breathe. So it is not my role to expose the fake people. In due time, they will expose themselves for who they really are. So I've been sharing that, and it's in the same vein, without having this discussion. But let's have this discussion, right? So this was written in 2020, still good information. Why does our psychology, right, make misinformation so hard to correct? We explain the key concepts in the second of a 3-part series. Now, we're not going to read all of that, but let's just do a little. The mental shortcuts, confusion, and illusory, that encourage us to believe things that aren't true, can tell us a lot about how to prevent its harmful effects. So why don't you test and hold yourself to that? Let's say cleaning my glasses. What would I say? Yeah, this is real time. No, not scripted. It's just me having a discussion with you. What are your markers? How do you measure? What are your boundaries? When do you say, I'm going to look in? Thank you. Great conversation. Now I'm going to look into that. everything, every day, all the time, especially if you have $1,000 phone computer in your hand. Takes 2 seconds. Oh, okay. So therefore, it won't become harmful, and you can prevent it. And if you get to a conversation or an argument or a standoff, walk away because you're safe, right? It's what affects whether corrections work, what we should teach in media literacy courses, and why we're vulnerable to misinformation in the first place. Some people believe anything. I don't even know who that person is. I know people like that are nowhere near me, or they try to, you know, mm, it's the illusory superiority, right? Thing for me that we talked about earlier. They don't know any better. So you have to continue to demonstrate. And if they're watching you, just show the best you can show them and keep it moving. And why we're vulnerable to misinformation. First place, it's also a fascinating insight into the human brain. It is, but you know what? I'm busy. I don't have time. I can be nice to a point, but it's like whatever. And then they go on to talk about that concepts are irrelevant to corrections such as fact checking and debunking. Just do it. Just do it. So I'm going to keep that part. Just do it. So, sorry, I know I go fast sometimes. So just read this in its entirety and you will understand. What they were going through is the same thing we go through. That's why I can respect and go and find these little gems in the Bible because it matters. People slander Gigi Darling. They defame Gigi Darling. They try to block Gigi Darling. They try to abuse Gigi Darling. They try to trick Gigi Darling. They try to deny Gigi Darling. I mean, really, it's like, where's all this energy? Is there something you really, really want, but you're really, really, really just doubting yourself? Never doubt yourself. Sometimes you're on the right track, and if you just hang in there and do the right thing, you're going to be on the right path. But some people are just so bogged down with whatever they got going on, you really can't help. You really can't, but you can, just keep pushing. Shout out to Tita Talks. Oh, every time she writes that, it gives me my life. Now, delusion. We like to play with words in this sector of YouTube. If something is said often enough, it must be true. Well, that's what happens to people that don't, right? Fact check or debunk. So all of these are down below in the description box. So I found this and I thought it was interesting. When people are on repeat, they say things over and over and over again. And then when you stop them and go, what does that mean? When did you see that? Oh, well, I just heard it from somewhere. Are you an adult? I get to the point where I'm like, no, you don't fit in class culture because I don't have time. So I'm going to bookmark this because we're going to come and visit this. Look at these categories. This is a very good website. Still good information. They have a bunch of goodness in here. I'm not even going to close it, but look, from writing to study methods to public discourse to musing, whimsy, humor, culture. I was like, ooh, yeah, it's a good one. Availability bias. And if you've never heard any of these terms, welcome to class culture. But it's interesting. While repeating the end line in the Wizard of Oz may have worked well enough for Dorothy, it doesn't work in the same way for us. Or does it? Sometimes it appears that people treat claims. So when someone puts a claim out there, you will find people that treat it as truth or valid, but they can't prove it. They're too lazy. They don't have what it takes to be a heart of gold in class culture, number one. Number two, it hurts their spirit, because, right, like we like to say, because they know they're not 100. They know it, and it's okay. They don't have to be, right? And we're not in the business of convincing or exposing. However, we're here when it happens, aren't we? But when they hear them regularly, so it's unfortunate, but yeah. And I want to keep that one too. Ooh, this stuff is just good. It's just good, right? Through the ease of publication and uh promulgation. Is that how I pronounce it? Let's put it in promulgation. Let me put my glasses on. Child. Let me see. Edit, copy. Let's put it in there. Shout out to the internationals that are learning along with Gigi Darling. I think I said it correctly. Pronunciation, promulgation.
Promulgation.
Yeah, promulgation. We're here to learn, y'all. In the modern era of social media. Okay? Now, give me a second. To make known or public. Okay? Promulgation. To make known or public. Okay? So again, we have to accept the fact that when you're researching, do it all the way. Don't glance over a word. You think you might know what it is, but you don't. So something you make public in the modern era of social media. Isn't that what happens every doggone day? I'm not going to curse. On YouTube, somebody is slandering you. So when you read this repeat availability bias, and I didn't read the title. If something is said often enough, it must be true. Availability bias, or the illusory truth effect. Ooh, I love this stuff. So this is down below. And I don't want to make these too long. I'm just making them available to you, my heart of gold. So welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, this was a good one. I was like, ooh, this is good. Now, sorry, give me a second. I'm cleaning as we go. Before we go to 25 helpful Bible verses about false accusation, let's look at illusory contracts. Somebody gave me a contract that meant absolutely nothing. Or some people go to court and file things that mean absolutely nothing. They're scare tactics. It's a scare tactic. And it's a you know what shame. It's between two parties and one party promising and consideration that is so insubstantial. No obligations are imposed, such as insubstantial promise results in the contract being unenforceable. People can sue for anything. I don't like your shoes. You walk too hard and you are in the apartment above me. Ain't nobody got time for that. But they'll go spend money. They're stalking me. And it's a lie. Or somebody will give you a contract that you know it is just, you'll show it. Sorry, I had to fix something. You'll show it to an authentic attorney and they'll be like, don't waste your time. And you go, okay, have a nice day. So yeah, it's also a contract in between two people, one party promising a consideration that is so insubstantial. No obligations are imposed. This is due to its lack of mutuality and indefiniteness. Give me a second. Copy. And this is how you kind of have to be like on your toes. I don't know if you guys have ever had the pleasure to be on a research team, but it is fascinating. It really is. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. Give me a second. Here it is.
In American English. Indefiniteness.
Indefiniteness. Indefiniteness. It's two-ness. Okay.
Indefiniteness.
Okay, indefiniteness. And that's why I like doing this. And mutuality and indefiniteness, where only one party is bound to perform, meaning they have to prove something or they have to bring it forth. Otherwise, if they don't do it, you're just like, well, I mean, unless you want to hold someone in default or somebody is, falsifying documents. Yeah, that happens a lot too. So the statement made appears to assure the other party that there will be a mutual performance by both. And really, it's not. In actuality, the person making the promise is under no obligation to fulfill it. And it comes across as authentic, and it's not. So be careful. Always get an attorney. It's usually, like it says here, unclear and indefinite. It leads to uncertainty and in regards to the performance status of the promising party, even if they are being paid by the other party. So it's a lot going on. So then they go into terminology, and then they talk about consideration and mutual obligation. So this is up counsel is everything. And I am going to bookmark this because I'm sure we'll use it more, but that's how they remember who Gigi is when I do that. Now you say, Gigi Darlingz, what are you talking about contracts? What are you talking about a commitment? What are you talking about that? Well, isn't that what the Bible is about? For you to follow the rules. Oh! Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's move on. And then that's it. Oh, well, it was an hour. I thought it was going to be half an hour. Well, I didn't talk too much. But yeah, we have to bring it home. We really do. Why do I have that open? Okay. Oh, I have like 4 windows open. Thank goodness. I've been waiting to do this. And next, shout out to the future, because you can also hit the playlist. I'm going to be doing a 4-part series on back to school. Okay, so that's coming too. So I had a bunch of windows open. BibleReasons.com, false accusations. Okay, so let me make sure before I lie. Sorry. It just happens because I hydrate so much, but when I'm talking, I guess the bubbles and the hydration come together. Let me see. Or the H2O, I should say. So I need to copy that, and I'm going to make sure it's available downtown below. False accusations. That's what? Slander. It is. It's slander. Just put it all away already. Why do people waste their time? Look at they telling on me. Flights and stuff. But anyway, shout out to the future. But yeah, why? I'm fascinated with. That's why I do interviews, and we have more interviews coming up. I'm just fascinated, right? I'm overwhelmed with just why. Or I'll ask a question to lead them into the why, and then they'll get to the point where they're like, oh, well, nobody really ever asked me. You'll be surprised. But you just can't come out and just ram the, why do you lie on people? No, that's not a conversation. Because whether you believe in the Bible or not, or Christian or not, I believe everyone is faced with a moment of truth. Whether they take that fork in the road and do what Spike Lee likes to call the right thing, it's up to them. But for me, sometimes it's a lost opportunity. It's like, oh, they were almost there. But yeah, it's a choice. And sometimes people always choose the wrong thing. It just drives me nuts. I go, okay. And if you keep doing that over and over again, you're going to be an old bitter, biddy, or a butthole. Mill, butthole, biddy, female. Mm-hmm. So this is down below as well. Being falsely accused for something is always frustrating. It's frustrating, but I'm so good with people who lie that it's theirs. It has nothing to do with me. Because why? It's a lie. Right? But remember, Jesus, Job, Moses were all accused wrongly. Exactly. And it's still happening today. Sometimes it happens from someone wrongly presumed something. Sometimes it happens from someone wrongly presuming something, and other times it's out of jealousy, envy, and hatred. Or they want to get you, they want to harm you. It's like, what? And often when you see them coming or they do something, you go, that was weak, but okay, I see you, right? Stay calm. Do not repay evil. I mean, not initially. But, give it a 48 hour. Give it 48 hours. 48 hours. I guarantee you they'll feel like the tiny piece of speck of nothing that they are, especially on the universe tip of things. Defend your case by speaking the truth or get authorities involved and continue to walk with integrity and honorability. And honor. I don't like that. Honorably and honorably. Okay. Continue to walk with integrity and honorably. That's a weird sentence, right? Walk with honor. A clear conscience laughs at false accusations. Ooh, don't they get mad? Ooh, like we like to say, the devil stay mad, don't he? Now, here are 25 for you. Okay. We're not going to read all of them. I'm sorry. It's just sorry, not sorry. So I'm just going to pull down. Oops. Yeah, we're going to get lots of ads. Do not contend with a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. Do not give dishonest testimony against your neighbor or your fellow YouTuber. Because really, honestly, they won't care, like Gigi. If you are reviled for, or, well, let's make sure. Let me see. And when you're writing books or scripts or whatever you're doing, and you want to make sure you're using the proper word, this is the perfect lesson. You put it right into Google.
Revile.
Revile. Yeah, revile. To criticize in an abusive or angry, insulting manner. So I was reviled and I walked away. I'm like, ooh, okay. That had nothing to do with me. Yeah, if you are reviled for anything, Christ or whatever, guess what? You're blessed because they see something in you that they can't even touch. So you see how I did that? You don't have to worship. You have to figure out what they're saying. So that was Peter again. So yeah, it goes on and on and on, you guys. And I really like them. I really do. With his mouth, the godless man would destroy his neighbor, but by knowledge, the righteous are delivered. Yeah, when you know better, you're like, and do not say, I will do to him as he has done to me. I will pay the man back for what he has done. Give it a moment. I do not say this. I will do to him as he has done to me. Okay. Say, I will pay the man back for what he has done. Interesting. Right? I don't even work in that realm, but it sometimes you got to do what you got to do. The Lord, the universe, the karma, the meditation, the juju will always fight for you. Just stay calm. I added juju in there. Okay. So these are really good, especially if you are into affirmations. We do have an affirmation playlist, but that's just going to be whenever I feel like making it. So this is a great website for you as well. And I think that's it. Great topic. Just know, again, it's the illusory for me. And just know that you're not alone. If you feel helpless and cut off, that's because you are helpless and cut off, and you have power over that. You can always look things up, just like Gigi Darling does, but don't succumb to it. Let's just say you're in a room with 20 abusive people. Leave the room. Or I'm going to get out scratching and clawing. Everybody's going to have marks on my body, on their body, probably mine if they're trying to hold you back. But that's the beauty of having a YouTube channel. When someone attacks you in the particular sector that I like to dwell in, I just take this tongue and I go right back. Boom, 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 ping, 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 ping. Because it's better than doing that in real life, right? It's easy. And then the winner is the one who is happy. If they're not happy, then you know who the loser was. That's why I love a word of worship, because I do find things like that happen right now, and not necessarily always to Gigi Darling, but to others. And yes, something like that did happen to Class Culture and Gigi Darling. And guess what? I handled it. Yeah, easy. So thanks again. Welcome back to a word of worship. Please, if you haven't, hit that like button, just because you learned something new and it's interesting. Just because you're going to hit that replay list and you're going to say, oh, wow, that's a good topic. Just because you're going to like all the other things that we got going on, plus the things that are behind us. We're going to turn to January 2/2. So, yay. Thank you so much. We are Class Culture, and we are going to continue to thrive. We are going to continue to keep it 100. Thank you to the current time, the 2,000 subscribers we have, because I remember last year, this time, we had like 300. And I just worked at it. So we're going to continue to celebrate and have fun. Me and Scribe Guy are going to continue to get down with the get down and ask you ever politely and ever so slightly to please continue to subscribe, join, like, and share. Thank you so much. And until next Sunday and or a live near you, I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye!